This is the first time that we are, getting together in the new year. So happy New Year, everybody! And I wish you and your family are actually getting a, nice and uh, decent. Yeah. So okay, Xing is also coming. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Hey, Shuxing. Hey. Yes. How are you? Yeah, so I hope that everybody is having a nice and decent New Year to start. I don't know like what's everybody's status, but I'm pretty much ramping up back to the work. In the last week, we already had a couple of showings, and believe it or not, in the last week we had two new listings signed, and Ripple actually got into one contract. Everything is still renting up. So we are almost come to transaction number, I think 7 or 8 for 2026 already. So yeah, so just keep doing this. Okay, all right. So I guess most of the people are here. Let's start. So today the topic is going to have a little bit introduction of a city of Palo Alto, and I hope that we can save some time to give everybody a little bit more like time to ask, and then there will be a little bit more announcements that we're making. There will be a lot of changes and things that we're going to be doing every year. Sorry, this year, and to help you to get more deals and close more transactions. Okay, so yeah, so everybody can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so who cannot see it? Okay, Angela is here. Okay, yeah, most people here. Thank you very much. This is more people than I expected. Okay, great. Yeah. So basically, Palo Alto. If I were to give it like a definition, it's actually one of the most diversified city in the South Bay and Peninsula area, where you can still technically buy a house in the 2 millions, in 2 million range, like around two lower or mid twos, and also there will be houses in about 10 times of this price, like 20 million also, right? So the purpose of this introduction is to give you an idea of the geography and the neighborhoods of the area. Okay, so basically there are total 13 neighborhoods in Palo Alto, but there are some more detailed. For example, some people call this a total like Duenex San Francis part. They call it Green Gables, like this one. So you probably will be hearing different names of whatsoever. Okay. But let me show you one picture that I can have you like have the idea of what is the 13 like neighborhoods we are talking about. Okay, and actually I'm gonna be sending this to the group at the same time, so we'll be actually, yeah. So hold on 1 second. Someone still want to join. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just send this to the group, so you can kind of like have an idea. Okay. So as you see, there are two lines drawing out Palo Alto like very clearly. So basically, the idea is north of the Caltrain is a little bit more prestigious and more expensive, and also west of Oregon Expressway, which is this line, is more prestigious. Okay, it's more expensive. All right. So basically, and on like the left side, we're gonna be seeing the neighborhoods is called Crescent Park, Old Palo Alto. They call this Green Gables, as I said, community center and downtown. And this area is actually downtown north. And then down south, I think it's not here. This is actually part of Stanford. This is actually Professorville, okay? And this is College Terrace, okay? Which where actually they have some kind of like miscommunication. For example, for Ventura, this picture is wrong. This is actually part of Charleston Meadows. It's like south of Meadows is a different neighborhood than Ventura. Okay, and then this is Barron Park, Green Acres, and they call this a total big chunk of this is called Southern Palo Alto, but there are actually a different small names for this. For example, this part is called St. Clair Gardens. This is, we sometimes use some nickel names. For example, this small area we call it the face, and this area we call it the bubble. So typically, the strict line of Southern Palo Alto is only east of Charleston and west of San Antonio. So this is where you can typically call, South Palo Alto. And actually, most people define south of El Camino Real part of Green Acres because the neighborhoods here are more similar. There are, like in terms of the market and the type of houses. Okay, so if your clients are relatively wanting new homes, okay, newly built homes, I think there are quite a few communities that you can find here, which is built after like 2005 or around 2010, where there is one here at around, like here, okay, and there is a couple of here. The Waterbirds is here, and also the Berryessa Terrace is here, and I believe they are actually building a new one. I think around here, which is called like 2850, something like this. So basically, these are the only newer construction sites that you can buy, and where there are some few smaller ones. Okay, yeah. So coming back, let's do like one by one. Okay. So first thing is Old Palo Alto. Old Palo Alto is the most traditional and prettiest neighborhood. Some people joke that the reason for Old Palo Alto is it refers to old money, which is not true. But you can tell your clients like this way. I've seen some people writing this up saying that it's old money. But it's actually because of the history of the community. The city started to develop this area, basically the city was founded due to the university, okay? And when they named the city, they were like, oh, you know what? We don't know what the city of the name, but basically we want to keep it the Spanish style to emphasize that this is the like a colonialized, so we want to use Spanish. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, we found a tree, a tall tree, a very big tree. Okay, what is tall tree in Spanish? Let's find it. Oh, it's Palo Alto. Okay, so basically that's how the name got. Yeah, it's in 1980. Okay, so fun fact, the city actually it annexed two other cities. So originally, Palo Alto was just this part. I'm not too sure if this is the exact line of the city, but I'm pretty sure they actually added the two other parts. Like, for example, Green Acres, this part is actually one of the original city right here. They actually decided to join Palo Alto. So that's how the city actually expanded to today's, area. Okay. So, as you know, like many, prestige people, tech tycoons live in Palo Alto. For example, Steve Jobs, as everybody know, and also Larry Page, right? And I don't know if you guys noticed, it's very interesting that the city is actually imposing a new tax for billionaires. And Larry Page is allegedly saying that he's going to leave Palo Alto because the city decided to charge like a 14% income tax for people who has an asset of more than 1 billion. So yeah, so that's actually a pretty hot local topic recently in Palo Alto. Yeah, if you here. So yeah, so there are like but for Old Palo Alto, a little bit of my personal touch is that south of, I believe this is maybe Highland or no, not this is not Highland. Let me actually see like more clear. Emerson, yeah. Actually, if you actually look at the prices, everything south of Bryan Street, especially south of Emerson, is going to be much, much cheaper than most of the other places. Anyone can have the idea what's going on there?
Because it's close to the Caltrain?
Yes, because it's close to the Caltrain, number one, and number two, and you have to remember here, there is a Superfund site. Okay, so this is when you look at Palo Alto, you have to be very careful that there is actually an active Superfund site. There's one inactive, which is the old HP, and the other one is also HP, which is here. Okay, so this is something you want to point out, and I suggest you read the 5-year report because I have read this 5-year report very carefully. And this is actually ongoing pollution and contamination, which is really bad. This is actually one of the worst sites I'm seeing in all the Superfund sites report. So this is the area that I would generally suggest people try to be very, very careful when considering, locations of this area. Okay, yeah. So. So basically, the average lot size in Old Palo Alto is various. There are as low as around 55 to 6,000 square feet lots, but there are as high as 10K and bigger lots. Okay, because some of the I think rich people, they actually maybe buy 2 or 3 lots and annex them all together. So yeah. So the lowest price in this area is around 4 to 4.25 million. But if it's extremely close on AMA, close to Caltrain, it may be even cheaper. There are a few like multifamily in this area, but overall average is at around 7.2 million in Old Palo Alto. Okay, yeah. So the second part is the Crescent Park. Crescent Park is strictly defined by very few small streets. Okay. So basically, it is not as old as Old Palo Alto, but it's actually getting more prestigious, majorly because of things. Who? Anyone can know this? A person. Yes, since Mark. Okay, so he purchased a mansion and purchased basically a quarter of a block. So that's why Hamilton. Okay, so he did put a few houses up together and then blah, blah, blah. So this is actually become people are very attracted to. The streets are pretty nice if you actually drive by. I don't think, for example, like this line is that strict. Some people in the Green Gables western side, like, in this one, they still call themselves living in Hamilton, living in Crescent Park. Okay. So, and actually the name is called Crescent Park is, if you actually look at the shape like here, is it like crescent? Yeah, it is like crescent, right? So that's why it's called Crescent Park. Yeah. So the third part where it's more practical for most people to buy, where the mid price is around 4.2 million, is Green Gables. But inside Green Gable, there are a few different, like small neighborhoods. So basically, the further you are away from 101 highway, the more expensive the house price will be. Okay, so this street, I believe, let's see, what's the street name? Sorry, my brains are not that cool. Yeah, Edgewood. Yes, anything along Edgewood is at least around 1 million lower than whatever price is here. Okay, So down here, we generally call this area Duvenac slash San Francis. And there is the Duvenac Elementary School right around the corner. And this part, uh, south part of uh, 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 Embarcadero. Yes, this is Embarcadero. This is called Leland Manor. Leland is the first name of like Stanford. He's Leland Stanford Jr. And so I actually went up and looked up. Is there this anything to do with the Stanford family? I thought I have told which is very funny, is that I have told some of my clients that, oh, you know what, this is used to be the Stanford family's mansion house. Then they took it apart and they built some houses. No, this is totally bullshit. Sorry. Yeah. So the people here decided to name the neighborhood the Leland's Manor. It's just they want to be somewhat associated with a celebrity. Okay, so that's why they want to be more high. So that's why they annexed the time to Stanford. That's why they call it Leland Manor. If you actually look at this, it's very interesting. Yeah. So one of the transactions I had last year, yeah, is in this neighborhood. You kind of like see this. If you actually look at the satellite, yeah, you kind of like see this street is very much designed in a way like a manor, like a big like a mansion, right? Like a hacienda. Okay, I don't know. All these are, yeah. So especially the houses inside, like these houses, each of the lot is around 9,000. I think there were one. I'm not sure which house is this. I think it's actually Northampton. I believe it's this one. No, not this one. Maybe this one, 838. Yeah, this one was actually sold. Let me see. No, not this one. Sorry, 18. Yeah, this one is actually sold. If you actually go check, this one was actually sold for like 9.1 million. And also, there are some houses in this neighborhood is sold close to higher 9 to 10 millions also. Okay. There is one house which I actually toured in this one here, which is in the Duvenac neighborhood. And this house has been on the market for, I don't know, like, yeah, 257 days, like, 8, 9 months. Because basically the average price of this area is around, virtually 5 to 6 million at most. And the next highest in this area is like 6.5, and they're at 9.5. No wonder they're not selling. Okay. Yeah. So if you're gonna be interested, so I kind of find more people are due to whatever social media influence, they are more interested in part of the Oregon Expressway west side. And if they do have a limited budget, I think the best, in order to save them time and your time, the best possibility is just to tell them to consider the Duvenac area. Okay, and also, like east side of Leland Manor. This part you don't see any house because it's very obvious. Is the middle school. Okay, yeah. So the next part I'm gonna relatively also jump fast is the professor view, which is this part. Okay, if you actually go to the satellite, okay, you're gonna be seeing that there's a very interesting combination of different houses, and these are like big and small, right? You do see big lots like this, okay. I would say this is probably 0.3 acres, and you see like a very narrow lots like this, right? 5,000, and you see even narrower lots like this, like 3,000, 4,000, something like this, right? So basically, this is also due to his history, and this is I think for most of our clients, these are probably not that attractive area because number one, people, when we say our clients, is that our clients are generally at, like a more, I don't know what's the use, profit driven. They want appreciation. They want to ask you about value, right? However, this part is more of like a traditional part. The advantage is that it's very walkable, super, super walkable. And you see how many parks around here, right? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, whatsoever. And it's relatively easy to walk to the university too, through the University Avenue. And also the shops, you have Blue Bottle Coffee, you have Apple Store, you have whatever, I think I have tried over uh, 40 different restaurants around here. Yeah, it's a very good area, to try here, for different restaurants. So this is very, very good for retiring. Honestly, in my opinion, if you can afford it, right? So yeah, so this is a very walkable area. However, as I said, most people are wanting bigger lots and blah blah blah. And many houses in this area are historically significant buildings. That means you cannot change the outside, the majority of the structure. It doesn't mean that you cannot remodel, you cannot, do anything. You can, however, everything you do, you need to apply for the permit from the city, and the city needs to. They will keep a closer eye, in terms of, uh, 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 like what people, says about this area. Okay, yeah. So one other very moderate and good area I feel is the community center, and I'm gonna connect the community center together, like with community center and downtown north. Okay, so this is downtown. Everything north to downtown is called downtown north. Okay, so I actually just toured this house, last week. Yeah, so this house, as you see, the reason I bring this up is that you can actually find. Oh wow, you said this is a prestige area, but this is a 2,400 square feet house, and it's only for 3.5, and it's not selling. It's been there for like, let's see, I think it's quite a few days. Yeah, like and yeah, ever since October, right? So actually, even earlier, right? August. Yeah. So why? Very simple. Similar to the reason that we stated for Caltrain and Alma Street, is that this is back in Middlefield. Okay. And everything on Middlefield around here is automatically 500 to 600K lower than whatever, price inside. Okay. The average price here is at around 4.5 to 5 million, where you can actually find some very good, decent, newly built homes in this area. Yeah, for example, like something like this, 765 University Avenue, and but this is also on busier street, and also like yeah, like 4.3 for 17 average. Yeah, this is a very typical one here. Okay, so College Terrace is actually down under for here, where there is a very small pocket we call Southgate. And here you still go to this part. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention about school. Okay, but you can check that easily. West of this, basically is, I believe it's this canal or Colorado Avenue is the area, attendance area for Palo Alto High School, and the other parts are for Harry Gunn High School. Yeah, basically it's part of this canal and part of Loma Verde. So west of this is going to Palo Alto, including all College Terrace, and the rest of the part, including everything down here, South Palo Alto, Midtown, blah blah blah. This goes to Gunn High School. Okay, yeah. So College Terrace, it's, I think the biggest complaints about this part is number one, I mentioned as the Superfund site influence. Yeah. And second is that these lots are generally longer. You can see like these are very long lots instead of like a more square, more right proportioned lots, right? This is relatively harder to build if you want to make new builds. So that's why if you actually look at the price here, you probably still see houses in the 2 or 3 million, right? Like higher for 4 million. So something like this. And if you actually see these homes, like they are no attached garage, and also the build year is very old. It's like 1906. This is pretty much work as the dormitory and also like teachers housing initially when they started building this for Stanford University. Okay, yeah. So the expensive part is pretty much done. So let's come to the world of Eichler. Okay, so Midtown and the southern part. All right. So I want to. Anyone have any questions right here before we move to the next part of my speech? Yeah, I don't want to keep talking yet. Anyone have any questions?
I'm good. I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right. So let's continue. So basically, most of the potential interested area of ours are Midtown. Okay. So there are two ways you can, define or tell everybody where Midtown is, right? So there is one way is to tell everybody that okay, north of I believe this is Louis. No, hold on. This is I think this is this Middlefield? No, no. Yeah, I think some people are telling everybody like north of Middlefield and east of Oregon, like per this picture, is southern Palo Alto, where it's like a really big map. But inside, the way I used to describe it, I might not be always right. I like to like put all that part, okay, as Midtown, like west of Meadow, yeah, like this part, okay. So it's easier for you to kind of like give people the idea of where that is, and the reason is that you probably can see from the prices, right? Like here, and they are virtually the similar price range from the close to 3 million higher twos, lower ones up until like a three higher threes, 3.8, 3.91, right, up until like 5 something. So, but the overall like impression here is somewhere between, like if you actually see one house at a 6.3, like this is a 3,000 square feet, brand new built home, like everything. And I have seen this house. I'm not too impressed by this house itself because the inside it seems like too big and empty. But yeah, so this is pretty much the price ceiling for this whole area. Okay, yeah. So then the South Palo Alto, as I said, the reason I connect these two parts all together is that you probably will be finding in the 3 million range. I can just click some random for you. This is like a totally fixed upper, and this one it did have a lot issue. The lot was not rectangular, and the house is very awkwardly positioned on the lot. So yeah, if you actually show you, yeah, so you can kind of like see the house is very strangely positioned. So basically meaning that if you want to rebuild, if you want to add or change anything, you pretty much need to tear down the house. Yeah, the neighbor was actually a house that was torn down. Yeah. So if you actually keep looking in this area, for west of the canal, it's mostly non-Eichler style homes. Okay, see like this one, and like this one. Yeah, these are non-Eichler style homes. These are more bungalows in 1950, 96. But a little bit east, you're gonna be starting most like Eichler style homes. For example, this one, it's you can see like close to 3.2. In my opinion, this location is pretty good. and but the garage is separated, and the reason it did not sell too crazy is because this house has been broken into twice in the last year. So there are two police reports on this one, and I think that this started pretty low. I think this one started for like 2.5. So yeah, so so sometimes you can kind of like run, but you can easily identify the potential high and lower ones in the area. Okay, so yeah, and so one of the typical questions we start asking people is, are you okay with Eichler homes? Anyone can give us a little bit comment on what Eichler homes is and what are the characteristics, pros and cons? Except Cindy. Anyone else?
Yeah, the foundation is different. The most Eichler is like the slab foundation, and for me, most of my clients doesn't like Eichler because a lot of Chinese think like if it will have some like it will be like it will be colder than the regular ranch coat, and because also Eichler has more window. So it's also like about like the temperature insulation problem. And it's cost more to remodel or like modify the Eichler home. So this I believe this is like the cons of the Eichler, but I know like 20% of people, they really love Eichler because they are very bright.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very simple style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't quite agree the idea that Eichler is hard to expand or modify. Actually, the way Eichler homes were built is that they were built easy to
No,
like
I mean like
structure.
it's cost a little more. I mean
Yeah.
because like if you want to change some pipes, if you want to change, you have to dig, not just instead of going to the cross space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the reasons, as I am actually going into more deeper into this conversation, I actually find the reason maybe there will be some kind of sense that people are actually like lining this part as Midtown and the other part as Southern Palo Alto is because like this part, including wherever you see here, let me show you. Like this one, Eichler, right? This one, Eichler, right? And this one, Eichler. However, if you actually go to remember that map, right? They kind of like draw this here, middle field, blah blah blah. This part here, right? And actually this part, Louis, yeah, like this part, right? No Eichler. See, if you actually click any of these, no Eichler, right? No Eichler, right? No Eichler, right? Even this one, no Eichler, right? So basically, these are the ways. If you have a client who is having in somewhere between 3 to 4 million of budget and does not want Eichler, this might be a better place for them to consider. Okay, so this is something you can keep in your mind that you when you introduce areas, so you seems to be more professional and knowing that the differences very, very distinctively. Okay, remember this one part is part of Lewis, part of the canal, and part of middle field. Okay, that's the idea. All right, yeah. So so basically in Southern Palo Alto, there are some tracks, okay, where the Eichler homes are built on. So let me show you something here. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, there was a PDF on the website of the Palo Alto. Okay, I'm gonna be sending this to the group as well, so you can kind of like see and provide information to your clients. So there are different, as you see, these are the original Eichler tracks. So Eichler is the name of a person and also a construction company. So in the 1950s, in the late 1940s, the first one is actually 1949, right? And it's basically somewhere in between the majority is somewhere in between 1940 and 1950, right? So they eventually built this many tracts. The tracts means a neighborhood, a portion of a land that they start building homes on, right? And you know, like and you're going to be seeing that these are the Eichler tracts, and this is the National Register Historic District. So the only part you cannot change is the National Register Historic District. This part you cannot change out looking of this of the home. You cannot change the majority of the house. You have to be very careful when purchase house here. Okay, so the orange part, Eichler tracts, there is no any law enforcement power on what you can do. Okay, and there will be one single story over combining district, which actually you're gonna be visiting soon. The tract number 3, which is called Charleston Meadows, is where my house is located within. So the only thing about this part is that you can only build 1-story house. You cannot build a 2-story. However, you are not limited to build Eichler style homes. You can build anything, and you have to be very careful. This is Palo Alto, but you have to be very careful when explaining the regulations to your clients. For example, somewhere in Sunnyvale, they are actually more strict in terms of enforcing Eichler guidelines, even more than in Palo Alto. Okay, so anytime if you are facing, hey, can I build 2-story? Hey, can I build a non-Eichler style house? If you have a client who looking to build, you first of all look this up. Okay. Second of all, you know, ask in the group, you know, so we can come up and come to you with a suggestion. Okay. Yeah.
So the orange sites, they can build 2 stories and not Eichler homes. Like if you want
if you actually, for example, number 23, yes, you can build 2-story and you can build non-Eichler houses. Correct.
Okay.
Okay. 22, 10, 3, you can build non-Eichler style homes, but you have to build 1-story. Okay.
So for number 13, like National Historic District, so they cannot change even outside at all?
You have to follow a very strict architect guideline, which the city will provide to you.
Okay. So how about the pricing? The pricing is due to the historic, the pricing is much lower, or?
Pricing is virtually the same, per my understanding. If you actually look at this part, if you actually look at, like, this is the part, like the scripts, blah blah blah. You're basically looking at the similar ones. Like this one's is 4.3, 2400, but this one like 17, this one is 19, it's 3.4. So by this part does not like inflict a strong, because basically if you're buying a 1900, 2000 square feet, I would say most people would not consider like tearing this whole down and then reconsider building. What is very interesting is the houses along my side, like, you know, my house, like everything, you only have like 1, 2 up to here. These are like Eichler homes, but like if you actually just walk through Wiki to here, you probably will be seeing that. Let me see if anyone have any pictures. Oh my gosh, yeah, like this one. They are already they are already not Eichler homes. These are like just regular homes. There is one house. This one is on market for sale like right now, and yeah, it's off market but available for showing. They listed at the 3 million.
They just
Probably
sold
gonna,
in September.
yeah, they
One.
flip it. Yeah, they flip it, and they're
I see.
putting that. Yeah, if actually it's available for showing. So if you have clients who are looking into Palo Alto and looking for a moving ready home, and this might be a good target to see. Yeah. Okay. So the next part is going to be Green Acres and Barron Park, which is very interesting. And some of my, I like this area very much, because basically these are not in electrification zone, these are not in fire zone, these are not in flood zone, and very flexible in terms of building big houses. And some of these houses are having larger lots. Yeah, for example, this one you can see there is what's the lot size? This is, yeah, half an acre for less than 5 million. Okay, yeah, I almost consider buying this one, but the only reason I did not is because this is like T junction. Yeah, it's facing the road. So I had a client who actually looked at this. They were also interested, but I talked them out of it. Yeah, and what is very interesting for Barron Park is that you do see some houses with higher price, like this one, right? For almost 6 million. Yeah, but you do see some houses for extremely low prices, for around 2.75 million. Right. So that's why and if you actually go to this part, you're probably gonna be looking at like the streets are not very uniform. Many of these houses does not, for example, this particular street, right? It does have the street curb. But if you actually look at, for example, typically Los Robles, they don't even have a curb. Yeah, you see, this is just dirt, which makes some people feel really bad. they were not believing that they are in Palo Alto.
I see.
Yeah.
And
so
the road is still like very narrow.
yeah,
right?
Exactly, right. Similar situation happens in some part of Los Altos as well, which Ripple actually introduced the last time. You're welcome to go back and check that video. Yeah. So Green Acres is generally a little bit more upgraded version. This is a small, which is very funny. Green Acres, if you actually go back to this map, it's actually like the line is actually not typically by Estadero, which is this road, right? It's actually eating into part of the Barron Park block, where it's kind of like center. Is this the Briones? This is the elementary school belonging to the Green Acres neighborhood, and one of the reasons people do not like Barron Park that much is because of this part, where it's this part, okay, where it's relatively close to the commercial area, does have condos and also different things, and this part is actually a mobile home park. So many people do not like to be a neighbor of a mobile home park. Okay, so this is where they are standing right here. So yeah, so and also because of that, the Barron Park Elementary School also takes kids from the Ventura neighborhood, which is the poorest neighborhood of whole Bay Area. So yeah, so that's why people are not typically too excited about sending kids to Barron Park. Yeah, in my findings, my clients, Chinese or not, only a third of them saying, "Oh, okay, we're pretty open to, Barron Park, like area," and some of them are not. So, but I think this will probably be changing from time to time. Actually, what is very interesting is that Barron Park has houses at around 10 million of the ceiling. So if you are trying to buy a land and trying to buy like to build, okay, Barron Park is probably one of the, and also Green Acres. But there's a little bit pitfall for Green Acres is that many people are not very excited about getting very close to the cemetery. Yeah, this is the this is what is it called? Like Alta Mesa Cemetery, where Steve Jobs was buried, and yeah, just for superstitious reasons. Yeah, okay. I think this is and the last part, which is Palo Alto Hills, which is have a different zip code, which is actually a small neighborhood right here. This is actually more in conjunction with Los Altos Hills, which is like they have a very high price and also a very small pocket. So few people actually go to this area. Okay. So yeah, so basically that's the community explanation and description. So a few questions, right? Like I'm going to take another pause here. Anyone have any questions? You can ask any questions. Not necessarily. Yeah. Like whatever you want to know.
Sean, can you briefly introduce the schools, like elementary, middle school, high school? You already said, but you briefly tell us.
So very simple. So the school system for Palo Alto, I like it. Actually, this is actually gonna go to my next section. But since you bring this up, I'm happy to share here. It's very easy and very straightforward for parents to figure out school in Palo Alto. The whole city does have one straightforward PAUSD, Palo Alto Unified School District, which contains 2 high schools, 3 middle schools, and about, I think it's 12 or 13 elementary schools. Okay. So there's one like a lottery school, which is kind of like yeah, it's sorry, the name is not coming to me, but yeah, there's one lottery school in Palo Alto where I'm sorry.
Is that Hoover?
Hoover, yes, okay. Hoover Elementary. This is the lottery school that all Palo Alto kids can choose to go. They do offer a strong STEM program, and they do have also Chinese immersion programs as well. So if you actually go to yeah, so this is actually pretty straight. Yeah, it's very easy to kind of like see from here. Yeah, very simple. You can easily find out. Yeah. So from west to east, Edison covers most part of downtown north, part of Crescent Park, and also like Professorville. Water Haze covers most of Old Palo Alto and Little Meadow and downtown north as well. Duveneck covers almost the rest of the Green Gables and also the or Crescent Park. And then you're gonna have Aloni and the Palo Verde, which is gonna cover these like two part of the southern Palo Alto. And then as I said, the Hoover is actually the school of that you go to lottery. El Camino is the most part of the middle of the like Midtown, and Greendale is part of the southern Palo Alto, and the Barron Park goes to Ventura and Barron Park, and also southern Palo Alto, Charleston Meadows, and the Green Acres goes to Briones. Yeah. So one thing is extremely good to know is that if you do have a kid or your clients have a kid who is less competitive in general, or even does have some difficulty in terms of learning, for example, ADHD, autism, which is not uncommon in Bay Area kids. I don't know why, because then Palo Alto probably have the best supporting system for disabled or partially disabled houses. I actually have seen one kid that he has to sit on the wheelchair and almost cannot talk, and he graduated from elementary school. Yeah, so he pretty much can still learn. The teachers are very, very patient, and the resources are very, very good, and they don't like leave any kids like behind. They keep sending emails. For example, my I live in Palo Alto, so my the teacher, they actually keep sending us reminders so that we can actually chase after our daughter to kind of like telling her that she needs to do her homework and so forth, right? Yeah. So so why people like Palo Alto, right? First of all, the name, very simple, right? The name, this is one of the most historical and most significant city in the Bay Area. Where the people they feel that they are kind of like having connected to the history, of the whole Silicon Valley, right? And this also attracts some international buyers, like, for example, when people come to the Bay Area, they want to find some city except for San Francisco and San Jose to visit. They probably start from exploring Palo Alto, right? So, and also as we just discovered and found that this can be some very good investment pools. That means if you have money, you want to buy real estate and to store money, there's almost no ceiling. Well, I mentioned there were 20 million houses, but there are actually higher prices, 30, 40 millions, right? So yeah. And the schools, we talk about it, and I different from other people's thoughts. They think Palo Alto schools are very competitive and blah blah blah. I personally, my personal experience is that the Palo Alto school provides a more lower boundary protection for students. It's not like they're promoting like talented kids like that much. I think those are more closer to the scenario for like Lynbrook, Cupertino, where those are like very, very talent promoting. But Palo Alto is more like, I think everybody gets a good quality of education right here. Okay, and also parents like Palo Alto over some. I would not say all, but some. They like Palo Alto over other places. For example, Cupertino, for example, even Saratoga, is because they like the better diversity of the city. They don't want to live in a place that there were 91% Asian, right? For Gunn High School, about 45% are Asian, 32% white, and about 20% are Latino and some of other, races. Okay, for Palo Alto High School, 35% Asian, around 38% white, around 12%, Latino and some other two races about. So basically, this is one reason that parents are willing to consider Palo Alto as their first choice. Okay, so however, at the same price, if you want to live in Palo Alto, you are living in more, as you said, we talked about 13, especially most people looking into Palo Alto, especially for tech workers, two people, they are in like 3 to 4 to 5 million range. Where they will find that the houses, and what is very contradictory is that people of this budget, they're trying to find a destination home. But the fact that this price range in Palo Alto is very, very far away from what a destination home looks like. I mean, for example, for $4 million, if you want to buy something even let me show you something here. For example, for around $5 million, right? You can buy something like this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, and no picture inside, right? So, but for same $4 million, if you want to buy something even in Cupertino, okay, you can buy something like this. Let's see, 5 million. Yeah, if you actually go to like whatever it's something like this, right? So you're probably gonna be like a more keen. I mean, when I say you, it's the clients, right? So it's very important for people to understand what they want. One like reason is that Palo Alto are preferred by some people is that and also myself. Believe it or not, I decided to buy in Palo Alto is just because that of the commute. So basically, what is very interesting is that if you're a real estate agent, right, and your service area covers Southway all the way to 95123, 95119, and also you want to cover Fremont, Union City, and also you want to cover even Hayward, and you also want to cover something like Daly City. Or even San Francisco and so forth, right? You will be finding that from Palo Alto, you drive to everywhere is almost within 35-minute drive. So this is actually one of the very much reason that I think Palo Alto is attractive for people who needs to like run everywhere. Okay. So I think that's pretty much what I want to say here. So any other questions or anything? I mean, I have some more information. I'm going to send this to the group as well, but these are more detailed. I'm going to go because we're almost at 1 hour. I want to finish this part. But one thing I like, one thing you can you can kind of like search this for each of the lot. You can actually go to this one and go to Palo Alto's online parcel report. You can check this out. So they will be giving you what is the we can actually doing anything, right? Like for example this one 707. If you actually go to here, you can actually go to 707 Los Robles. You can it's gonna give you this, and you can see give you like what's the thing, right? Like year build SSA, and then effective year. So this house has been rebuilt, so that's why they give you like original build time, and this is like the new build time. And also this gonna give you like if there's an easement, if you have to 2-story, blah blah. So basically all building required like regulations you can easily access online. So so this is so this so I'm pretty much done for this part. Anything have any questions regarding Palo Alto before we move to the next quick topic? We're going to take about another 5 minutes to give you the idea. Hello?
Yes.
No questions at all? Okay. So I want to show you one thing that we have been developing like lately, that we're going to be sending this to most of the group, and we're going to be developing a new web page on our website as well, which is our training lab. Okay. So this is, let me show you. This is going to be in our YouTube channel. Okay. So you can kind of like see we have a titled agent training. Like this is the first part. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna send this link to so this is the kind of the video that we're showing everybody. and it's like a step by step. So we're gonna cover how to write up offers, how to read the disclosures, how to talk to your clients and everything. So here's the thing. I think for many of you, you need to change your way of interacting with clients. So I don't know, like for me, hey Jen, can you please mute? Yeah. So so for me, I think most of the action items are laying in our everyday action, right? So we want to give you more ideas, like of how things can go. We want you to understand the reason we are giving different introduction of an area. We're giving this all kind of training is to let you, especially if you're a new agent, you want to keep learning. You want to keep learning and keep asking questions. However, I'm finding it's very interesting that some of the most active question askers are our top agents. Okay, Anna asked maybe the most questions of everybody, and Diane asked a lot of questions. Ripple, which is she's being like a 100 million level producer. She asks most questions. So you have to think about this. Do you know more than these top producers? Right? So that's the topic. I think my way of trying to develop the team, we're going to be having a little bit more conversation when we kind of like enjoy the party. My way, I think, makes us most different than any other company is that everybody in this group, in this company, is a leader. Okay, you are not inferior or lower or whatsoever than anybody else. You initiate questions, you promote topics, right? We provide, and these things are going to be our treasure for yours and any other agents. We benefit from each other. So that's why I'm going to be trying to, after all, we're a risky company, right? We are not like when I say, hey, anyone have any other questions? So before you actually come to this, consortium or conversation, right? I personally spend over, honestly, even for this Palo Alto conversation, I spend almost 3 hours preparing this. It's not automatically say, oh, you know what? I live in Palo Alto. I'm knowing everything. And during the preparation of this conversation, I found so many interesting topics that I did not know. And even during the meeting, I found some new facts. That's why they draw the line, right? Like Midtown and South Palo Alto differently. Oh, because that guy differentiates those parts because of the Eichler, the building styles, right? So that's why we're going to be developing this web page. We're going to be sending this, read this, ask questions. I think I don't want to go each and every out of you. I think around December 20th, I said, if you have several clients, right, but you don't know where to go, come to us, come to me or Cindy. We can sit down. We can break down one by one. You can give us as much information as you want. If you want to give us detailed information, hey, we have seen this house, blah, blah, blah. We're happy to, but if you want to give us an overview idea of, how to do, and hey, this is my scenario, right? Can I buy some agents actually ask me questions. Hey, can I buy a commercial property? I'm telling her honestly, hey, you can, but it's not very much advice because first of all, we don't have a commercial property, no insurance, and second of all, this kind of transactions are generally more complicated, and most of the time you kind of like ending up going nowhere, right? So that's why we want you to set up a plan. I mean, I can email you a 90-day business plan, and so forth. But again, after everything, we need to do it. We need to get it executed. So it's very important that we set up day by day, like what I need to do today. Right? I'm actually keep showing you, like for example, today here I'm actually having the group discussion, and around 2:30 I'm gonna have another discussion with the clients who want to put an offer, and I'm 4 p.m. I'm gonna write down your calendars every day and prepare your things action by another action. Okay, so and also I'm finding that some of the members actually creating some business plans, including doing videos. As you probably see that many of you have to ask yourself this question, like, oh, I like their broadcasting, right? I like their live show. Hey, oh, I know Anna and Sean did a great show. Oh, Zoya and Cindy did a great live cast, right? So the question is that, why can't I do it? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like to see people. Well, the problem is that in work, you have to do anything that promotes yourself. And believe me, once you're getting used to this, you're going to be getting comfortable. Now I want to do more live shows. I'll explain a little bit more next time when we have the meeting why it's going to be extremely helpful for you to attract clients and so forth, right? Okay, this is the added part I want to add to this. But the last part is that let me ask you. I know that Jimmy and Megan is probably still away from this, but next week everybody will mostly be back. So is January 18th Sunday? Is it going to be a good time for everybody? Anyone is no good for that time? Everybody's good.
Evening time, right?
Evening time. I think around 5:30 or 6 also. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we'll be sending you I think I still think that maybe Diane, can you start up I don't know, Jielong, something like this, so everybody can sign up, especially for how many people. As I said, this is the gathering up of all the members, not only you, but also your friend, family, your parents, your kids. Yeah, everybody's very welcome. So we expect maybe 50 to 60 people. Yeah, and it's a gathering time. As I said, I will be. I just hope that we can hear from you to come to us, and let's talk a little bit more. I mean, the last word I'm having is that we really, really appreciate that you choose Gaia. We are a baby company. We're really a tiny company, and we cannot compare ourselves to the big shots and so forth, right? And but I think your trust is really, really appreciated. And I think that the value that we are providing and we're trying to realize for everybody is that we are treating you as our really, really our friends, and we are never hesitating to devote our time and energy to help. However, I need your proactive actions to come to us to ask for help, because we don't want to interfere into your life, telling you what to do, right? So yeah, so that's aim for 2026, and our goal. I'm now setting up goals. Our goal for 2026 is 200 transactions. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, all right. Let's hopefully get it. Yeah. Okay.
Sean,
yeah.
One question,
Sure.
Sean. So what were
Yeah.
like your favorite sources for the preparation of this presentation?
So I'm sorry. Say it again.
Like your sources for the preparation of this presentation today?
I use different resources. For example, I think the easiest way is to use ChatGPT. A Gemini, online, so you can search information relatively quickly. And for example, but I'm actually using the thing I'm showing you this is actually from Notebook LM. Like if you so first of all, you have to devote a few hours of reading all kind of things. You know, like yeah. For example, if you can actually look at my reading list, right? Like I read all kind of different stuff, like Action 2 Pro. This is for photography, and this is like you know, how to succeed as a new real estate agent, exact steps, right? And how to, you know, like what are the tags, what is the neural network. So basically, you read all kind of things, and you can throw in whatever you read, and if you're interested into Notebook LM. Okay, for example, this one I actually input 1, 2, 3, 4 trainings and do this one, and then you can start doing. They will be giving you some infographic. You can do flashcards, and you can do you know, like also, yeah, like this is the picture. This is the original picture, but our designer actually helped us to extract this from. It's a very simple one, and then change to this one with words and everything. So it's a combination of AI and human efforts. Okay, yeah. So if you want to make I think if you want to make a video to introduce in that one area, now it's going to be much faster if you started using AI. And there are many things you can try. I don't know how much time you use to explore new text, like Google View. I don't know if you have heard this. You know, like if you actually go to no, sorry, not this one. This is actually fake. Yeah, you should go here. You know, like a View 3. You can actually go doing here. Like you can just sending prompts, right? Like if you want to special, just like for example, if I want to change this into a video, I can say, hey, generate a video with Palo Alto map, then shrink down to a certain, you know, like a street and showing trees, blah blah blah. Just give them the yeah. You can kind of like try here. Yeah, it's even for free. You know. Yeah. So basically, I'm not sure if it's for free. Sorry. Yeah. But anyhow, you can generate any video from here. So I'm also in learning. Once I learn something on this, I'll showcase you know, this to you as well. I need to find a simple way myself before I tell you the methodology. Okay. Yeah. All right. So any other questions? All right. So yeah, thank you very much for coming and joining me today. So next time, we're gonna be meeting up on the 18th, and we're gonna be sending the register in the group soon. And if anyone is volunteering, happy, you know, helping with the dinner and party, you know, let us know. You can contact Cindy or me. And yeah, otherwise, see you on the 18th. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye bye.